How can a slave become one of the greatest philosophers in history? Epictetus was born around 50 AD in Hierapolis, a city in ancient Phrygia, modern-day Turkey. He entered the world with nothing, no family wealth, no status, not even his own freedom. He was a slave owned by a man named Epictetus, a secretary to the Roman Emperor Nero. Epictetus' early life was defined by hardship. As a slave, he had no control over his circumstances, his body belonged to another, and his life could be dictated at a whim. Yet, within the confines of his servitude, Epictetus discovered something no one could take from him: the power of his mind. Despite his lack of freedom, Epictetus was permitted to study philosophy under the Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus, one of the most influential teachers of the time. This was no small feat for a slave; it was a rare opportunity that would shape the course of his life. Through Musonius, Epictetus was introduced to Stoicism, a philosophy that would become the foundation of his unbreakable spirit. Stoicism taught him that while the external world could be cruel and unpredictable, his inner world, his thoughts, emotions, and reactions, was his own to master. Epictetus' life as a slave wasn't without pain. One story, often recounted, highlights the harsh reality of his existence. It's said that one day, Epictetus, in a fit of cruelty or indifference, began twisting Epictetus' leg. Epictetus, remaining calm, warned his master, "You will break it." Epictetus ignored him and continued until the leg snapped. Epictetus, unflinching, simply said, "I told you so." This moment, whether entirely true or a later embellishment, captures the essence of Epictetus' philosophy. He could not control his master's actions, but he could control his response. His leg was broken, but his mind remained untouched. Eventually, Epictetus gained his freedom, though the exact circumstances are unclear. Some accounts suggest he was freed after Nero's death in 68 AD, when Epictetus fell out of favor. Now a freedman, Epictetus dedicated his life to philosophy. He moved to Nicopolis, a city in northwestern Greece, where he founded his own school of Stoic thought. There, he taught anyone who would listen, rich or poor, powerful or humble. His reputation grew, and his teachings reached far beyond the small coastal city. One of his most famous students was a young man named Arrian, who would later compile Epictetus' teachings into the Discourses and the Enchiridion, two works that preserved his wisdom for centuries. Epictetus' teachings were rooted in a simple but profound truth: you can lose everything, your wealth, your status, your health, even your freedom, but no one can take away your inner peace unless you let them. This idea became the cornerstone of his philosophy and a guiding light for countless others, including emperors. At the heart of Epictetus' Stoicism is the concept of dichotomy of control. He famously said, "Some things are within our power, while others are not." Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. For Epictetus, true freedom wasn't about escaping physical chains. It was about liberating the mind from the things it cannot control. Imagine a slave, someone who owns nothing, teaching this lesson to the world. Epictetus didn't just preach this philosophy, he lived it. When his leg was broken, he didn't curse his fate or despair. He accepted what he couldn't change and focused on what he could, his reaction. This mindset allowed him to endure unimaginable hardship without losing himself. Epictetus also emphasized the importance of virtue as the highest good. To him, living a good life meant acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, no matter the circumstances. He taught that external events, whether good or bad, don't define your worth. What matters is how you respond to them. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, he said. This idea was radical for a man who had every reason to feel like a victim of his circumstances, yet chose to rise above them. Epictetus' teachings didn't just resonate with the common people, they reached the highest echelons of power. One of his most famous admirers was Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor often called the philosopher king. Marcus, who ruled from 161 to 180 AD, was deeply influenced by Stoicism, and Epictetus' ideas shaped his own writings, particularly in his personal journal, Meditations. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength," a direct echo of Epictetus' teachings on the dichotomy of control. Think about that for a moment. A slave's wisdom guided the most powerful man in the world. Marcus Aurelius, who faced the immense pressures of ruling an empire, dealing with wars, plagues, and political intrigue, found solace in Epictetus' philosophy. In his Meditations, Marcus often reflected on the importance of focusing on what he could control, his thoughts and actions, while letting go of the rest. This mindset allowed him to lead with clarity and compassion, even in the face of chaos. Epictetus' influence didn't stop with Marcus Aurelius. His teachings continued to inspire generations of thinkers, from early Christian writers to modern philosophers. His ideas on resilience, self-mastery, and inner freedom remain relevant today, guiding people through the challenges of modern life. Epictetus never wrote down his own teachings. Everything we know about him comes from Arrian's records. Yet, his words have survived nearly 2,000 years, a testament to their enduring power. The Enchiridion, a short manual of Epictetus' core ideas, is still widely read today. Its title, meaning handbook, reflects its purpose, a practical guide to living a good life. One of Epictetus' most famous lessons is about how to handle adversity. He said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This isn't about giving up, it's about focusing your energy where it matters. For example, you can't control whether someone likes you, but you can control how you treat them. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. This simple shift in perspective can transform how you navigate life's challenges. Epictetus also taught the importance of detachment from external things. He believed that attaching your happiness to material possessions, status, or other people's opinions is a recipe for suffering. Instead, he urged his students to find contentment within themselves. "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid," he said. In other words, don't let the fear of judgment stop you from living virtuously. Epictetus' philosophy isn't just a relic of the past, it's a practical tool for today. Imagine you're facing a modern-day challenge. You've been passed over for a promotion at work. Your instinct might be to feel angry, rejected, or worthless. But Epictetus would ask, what can you control? You can't control your boss's decision, but you can control how you respond. Do you let it destroy your confidence, or do you use it as an opportunity to grow? Maybe you ask for feedback, improve your skills, or look for new opportunities. The choice is yours. Or consider a more personal scenario, a relationship that's falling apart. You might be tempted to blame yourself or the other person, spiraling into frustration. Epictetus would remind you to focus on what's in your power, your actions, your words, your integrity. You can't control how the other person feels, but you can control how you show up. By staying grounded and true to your values, you preserve your inner peace, no matter the outcome. Epictetus' life is a powerful reminder that freedom isn't about your circumstances, it's about your mind. He was born a slave, yet he became freer than most by mastering his thoughts and emotions. He taught that no one can enslave your spirit unless you let them. He is free who lives as he wishes to live, Epictetus said, but he clarified that true freedom comes from aligning your desires with what you can control. Epictetus died around 135 AD in Nicopolis, but his legacy lives on. He never sought fame or riches, he lived simply, with a limp from his broken leg and a heart full of wisdom. Yet, his teachings reached emperors and continue to inspire people today. The slave who taught freedom of the mind proved that true strength isn't about what you have, it's about who you are. So, ask yourself, what are you letting control your peace? What can you let go of? And how can you use Epictetus' unbreakable mind to live a freer, more grounded life?
I loved sharing Epictetus' inspiring journey and Stoic wisdom, showing how we can all find inner freedom, no matter the challenges. I hope his story motivates you to take control of your mind and live with peace. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.